to keep an eye on this guy. But he wasn't completely antagonistic towards the U.S. Once Kennedy was in office, Hubbard offered the services of Scientology to help train and condition astronauts for the low cost of $25 an hour for 250 hours with the possibility of a group discount, cash only.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good move.
That is a good move.
That's a Men's Warehouse move. That's a liquidation move.
Yeah, that's a steal at any price.
Hubbard was so confident that Kennedy would say yes that he took a trip to the Washington Scientology Center to discuss with his staff how they were going to handle the coming flood of astronauts.
Interesting, but I guess instead of buying it, they just raided the offices?
Yeah, instead of sending astronauts, they sent the FDA to raid the Washington Scientology offices because the FDA had caught wind of this e-meter bullshit and were investigating them for false promises on products.
Food and Drug Administration.
Food and Drug Administration.
Strange astronauts.
Bad move on the part of the government, as it resulted in no charges and did nothing more than to bolster Hubbard and Scientology even further as a government group, because now they can point specifically to government persecution. They can say they raided our offices, they know we're onto something, they know that they are evil and we are good, so therefore give us more money because we need to fight the FDA now.
It just shows you just got to never give in to trolls. You can never give in to these people because they use it. They flip it and they use that negative energy for themselves.
But despite this, Hubbard, on his 52nd birthday, issued a general amnesty to his followers, saying,
"Any and all offenses of any kind before this date, discovered or undiscovered, are fully and completely forgiven, unless you've eaten the last slice of pizza, and that is a crime that can never go unpunished. They punished them by spankings."
Should have robbed that bank yesterday. I didn't realize today was the day that it all didn't matter.
This coincided with Hubbard's sudden revelation that he had visited heaven 43,892,832,611,177 years, 344 days, 10 hours, 20 minutes, and 40 seconds before 10:02 p.m. Daylight Greenwich Mean Time on May 9th, 1963.
That is very exact, so you know it's real.
It's got to be real. Elron, what was Jesus? What was he? Was he black or white or tall or short or?
He was the blackest man I've ever seen, and I absolutely loved him. He was funny. He was smart. He could dance. He could do whatever it took. He was a funny, funny man. You know who was a piece of shit, though?
Who?
Fucking Beethoven.
Really?
Piece of shit. He was bad. I hated. I did not like him. Moliere, gay as a skunk. A 1-1. Can't deal with him.
Really?
And but I tell you, and then Joan of Arc was shorter than I thought, and definitely Frencher.
Wow, who knew? Gotta be true.
See, Hubbard said that heaven was a high place in the mountains of a distant unnamed planet with beautiful marble columns. Hubbard said,
"The entering grounds are very well kept, absolutely tremendously kept, fabulous entering grounds. They're laid out like Busch Gardens in Pasadena."
Ooh, that is nice.
But when Hubbard visited heaven again a trillion years later, 42,893,832,611,177 years ago, heaven had fallen on hard times.
Just 3 years later, huh?
1 trillion years later.
Oh, 1 trillion years.
I said 42,891,832,611,177 years ago.
I see.
The place is shabby. The vegetation gone, sad, low energy. The pillars are scruffy. The saints have vanished. So have the angels. It's sad. A disgrace. Absolutely not fabulous. Not tremendous.
What do you think happened, Elron? Like bad government or?
Obamacare.
I'm surprised you know what that is. It's a couple decades.
I'm just saying words.
Well, years later, Scientologists, understandably a little embarrassed by this bullshit, would try to explain all this away once again as allegory. Hubbard did his best in the same bulletin to say otherwise. About his heaven claims, he wrote,
This HCO bulletin is based on over 1,000 years of research auditing. It is scientific research and is not in any way based upon the mere opinion of the researcher. And by that, I mean opposite of that. And by opposite of that, I mean opposite of that. I have scientific documentation to show that I did write the sentences that I have been writing and you are currently reading. I have scientific proof of that. It's the sentences that I'm writing.
It's an analogy, without a doubt.
Today's last sponsor on Last Podcast on the Left is Stamps.com. These days, you can get practically everything on demand, like our podcast. Listen whenever you want when it's convenient for you. So why are you still going to the post office and dealing with their limited hours? You can get postage on demand with Stamps.com. Anything you can do at the post office, you can do right from your desk with Stamps.com. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package using your own computer and printer. And unlike the post office, Stamps.com never closes. So you can get postage whenever you need it, 24/7. I know a lot of our listeners out there do DIY stuff. It's one of the reasons why we love y'all. We, of course, are a DIY operation here ourselves. We use Stamps.com to send out a lot of shit, and we'd absolutely recommend using this service. So right now, use our code LEFT for this special offer. 4-week trial includes postage and a digital scale. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage. Type in LEFT. That's Stamps.com. Enter the code LEFT. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. As the years went by, Hubbard's paranoia only increased. In 1965, Hubbard introduced ethics. Ethics was the first major step towards Scientology becoming a society unto itself with its own rules and methods of punishment.
This is the worst. This is the worst part of it. And now this is how we're going to see how Scientology comes completely about the extension of the personality of L. Ron Hubbard. It's about joining you and to be a part of him, like your cells of a gigantic organism. And ethics are trying to keep people on the ball and completely loyal to him. And it's where Scientology will become the fucking menace that it is today.
So is it Sea Org, as in Sea Organization, or Sea Organism?
Organization.
Okay.
Yeah, and anyone within the group of Scientology who is thought to be disloyal, lazy, or breaking the rules of Scientology would be reported to an ethics officer and assigned a condition in proportion to the crimes committed. These conditions vary depending on the infraction. They could be as low as a condition of liability in which the offender was made to wear a dirty gray rag tied around his or her left arm.
Ooh,
They're also not allowed to wash themselves. And that was like a big thing with L. Ron. We felt that was the ultimate punishment, is that you couldn't shower or bathe.
That makes sense.
But they could be as high as complete excommunication. That would result in a person being declared an SP, or suppressive person.
So now, if you're excommunicated, do you still get squirrel busted? Because they kicked you out. Theoretically, you wanted to stay. You didn't blow.
Well, they have been. I think in Going Clear, one of the guys who blew was squirrel busted.
Yes, he was squirrel busted. But if they kick you out, do they still haunt you?
I think. Oh yeah.
But then let me back in then.
If they kick you out, well, you can get back in, but it costs a lot.
You're gonna read through all the books.
Yeah, I think one person who got kicked out looked at the cost of getting back in, and it was something like $150,000 for all the courses.
It's called freeloader's debt.
Freeloader's
It's a thing
debt.
that you incur when you leave voluntarily. You basically have to come back and pay all the money, especially if you're part of Sea Org, which we'll find out later on, which we'll talk about, is that because then you get training for free if you're in Sea Org, and if you ever leave it, you then have to pay for the money that you owe for the classes that you got to take for free.
It's like when you get kicked out of prison, or you leave prison, you still got to pay for the ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
Also,
it was just a
Squirrel
huge
Busted
scam.
does sound like Squirrel Busted does sound like the porn that you would use from the that King Arthur movie with the hot girl squirrel and the little boy squirrel up in the tree.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sword the stone.
That's right. Sword in the Stone.
Yeah, if a person was declared an SP, they would be considered fair game by the church and could be sued and harassed as much as Scientology thought was necessary. People that are fair game, these are the people that are gang stalked. It's a terrible practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And no, they didn't. Did they have access to like television and things like that, or was this their main pastime? Stalking ex-members.
This is their main pastime.
Yeah, this is their main thing. And in fact, today, like, Scientology members if you are deep in Scientology, it is difficult to get permission to freely explore the internet.
Oh,
Because
really?
once the internet came, that's when everything started really falling apart for them as far as membership goes. Because then people could so easily, and now that they've got, everybody in America every Scientologist has the ability to debunk Scientology in their pocket at all times.
That's one of the
now.
most interesting thing about the internet. It has led to huge group organizations that would have previously not, they couldn't solidify themselves. Donald Trump, for example, his constituency, but it also debunked so much old fake religion.
Now, these practices of gang stalking, of fair game, all of that, they were not lost on the Australian government, who in October 1965 released a 173-page report about Scientology, saying, among other things,
Scientology is evil. Its techniques evil. It is the most largest organisation of unqualified persons engaged in the practice of dangerous techniques which masquerade as mental therapy. That's my new Australian.
I like that. That is a new Australian.
I've been working on one too. Yeah. Scientology is evil. Its techniques evil. It is the world's largest organization of unqualified persons engaged in the practice of dangerous techniques which masquerade as mental therapy.
This is very good. I feel like I'm talking to two Australian friends. It's like I have new friends. This is so good. Henry and Marcus never come back. I want Australian Henry and Australian Marcus at all times.
See, the reason why the Australians were coming at him was because a few years earlier, Hubbard had declared that Australia was to become the world's first clear continent and had begun to lay the groundwork to have his organization spread the country over. But
now, we're going to learn that is going to be a ongoing thread with L. Ron Hubbard. He wants an entire country.
Yeah,
he
right.
wants to be completely in charge of a country where no one can tell him he's wrong, no one can check up on his lies, everybody worships him, and it's a completely isolated community.
he's wanted to be a dictator from day one.
Sure.
That's all he's ever wanted. And in fact, in Australia, when they put out that report, they even pretty much named him as a dictator. They said the tactics that he uses are the tactics of a dictator.
I mean, he probably could have gotten a state. The Mormons got Utah. He could have. Like Montana, he probably could have just gone back there and led the whole damn place.
But to Australia's great credit, the state of Victoria outlawed Scientology in December of 1965 and empowered the Attorney General to seize and destroy all Scientology documents and recordings. This caused a ripple effect all the way to England, as a few months later, a chairman for the National Association for Mental Health stood up in the House of Commons and asked the Minister of Health to begin an official inquiry into Scientology in Britain.
I gotta say, I disagree with the Australians.
I mean,
You gotta let people believe what they want to believe.
I was pretty conflicted myself.
I know, fuck Scientology,
it is
but
a
people should be allowed to practice if they want
But
to.
that's what you're doing. You were falling into their trap that they are a religion instead of being a predatory cult.
You are
They're a
also
predatory cult.
They are a
They are-
predatory cult. Yeah, that is
They
true.
are bad.
But you also, I mean, Harry Potter. I've seen some fans at Comic-Con look cult-like to me. We want to stop Harry Potter?
The $1,500 in Harry Potter land.
Yeah,
I will say it's pretty
exactly.
predatory.
Yeah, those wands, they're not magic. They're using Wi-Fi.
$65 for
a
each one
wand.
of those wands.
They
You
were
show up with
$100
the
at
wand,
Comic-Con.
and then of course you have to have the wand because you see everybody else got the wand and they're waving it and shit, and things are like the animatronics are going, and they're like, it's magic.
It's technology.
Now, Hubbard responded to these allegations in Britain by hiring private detectives to dig up dirt on all the officials coming at him, but the detectives turned right around and sold the stories to the press, creating even more bad publicity. And this is all in addition to the heat Hubbard was feeling back home in the U.S. from the FBI. The idea on how to escape persecution came to Hubbard slowly but surely. It started with one simple question to one of his higher-ups.
Do you realize that 75% of the Earth's surface is completely free from the control of any government? Have you read or seen the film The Little Mermaid?
Ooh, we're going to the sea.
And that's where we will pick up next time on the conclusion of the saga of L. Ron Hubbard. Commodore coming through!
Wow, the Sea Orgs.
Yeah, man, that
Very
Love
cool.
Boat is not fun. It is not as sexy as the real Love Boat.
I'm sure it's not. All right, great. L. Ron Hubbard, Part 3 in the books.
Wow.
Brain can be cleared now, Marcus, of that information.
Fucking finally.
And there you go. You look better already.
I have been carrying Scientology around in my brain so for the last week.
Henry, the thing is, you can actually pretend like you are a Scientologist to get work now. Until, of course,
I'm
they
trying.
Google you. But just do that. Why not? Flip it. Who cares?
Yeah, can you see this? Can you see these SPs behind me? I just find out the guy. It's whoever is standing in audition, just staring forward,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
screaming at his sides, being like, "Stand up, sides! Sit down in the chair, sides!
That's good.
Stand up! Thank you! Thank you!"
Yeah, just constantly be like, I'm eating for two, me and my thetan. Stuff like that. And be like, I'm a 40. No, I'm only 35, but I'm a 40. You
I
get
mean,
it.
I'm in
I'm
the.
not gay anymore. I'm not gay anymore.
Well, yeah, that's it for this episode. We'll be back on the next one. Thanks
Yes.
to everyone, as always, for coming out to our last live show in Salt Lake City.
Oh,
Salt Lake
my
City
God.
was fucking amazing.
Dude, it
Thank
was
you
awesome.
to everybody at FanX who brought us out there. Thanks to everyone at Urban Lounge who came out and saw us. You guys are fucking amazing. And if you have not seen us yet and you want to see us live, go to cavecomedyradio.com/live to see all of the upcoming dates.
Yep.
And if you want advanced ticket sales for any shows that come up in the future, because all these shows that we're doing are selling out, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/lastpodcast on the left. For only $1, you get advanced ticket sales to every single upcoming show.
Yep.
Of course, there are rewards with each and every level after that, but
You sound
only
like
give to us.
Are we Scientology?
I was about to say,
Are we
only give to us.
Money means
Only
nothing. Money is not anything. Just give us our money. Let us handle your money for you. Money means nothing.
We will teach you nothing. Only give if you feel like you. Only give if you feel like you believe we deserve something. And
We are
of
adding
course,
3
and
new
of course
steps
you
to our
get stuff.
Patreon page.
Yeah, and you get stuff with each level. So thank you to everybody who's given so far. We very, very, very much appreciate
I
it.
gotta say, the people of Utah drank a lot more than I expected, and I really did appreciate the 1 ounce pours because, listeners buy you shots and stuff, and oftentimes in Chicago, for example, or Salt Lake or St. Louis, it's a full pint of whiskey. They call it a
Yes.
shot, but in Utah, it was actually 1 shot, and it made the whole night better.
Totally.
So thank you guys so much for coming out, and thanks so much for supporting all the shows here on CCR. We got some new Abe Lincoln's Top Hat shirts. We got some new Last Podcast on the Left shirts, which are awesome. And thanks for listening to Top Hat Roundtable, Page 7, Sex and Other Human Activities, Wizard and the Bruiser.
Movie Sign with the Mads.
Yes, Movie Signs with the Mads. All the shows here on CCR are doing so great, and it's all because of you. And you guys are really the best fans we could ever imagine.
Yeah, and Noel, Shane, and Danielle in Salt Lake City, you guys showed us a really great time, and thank you so much. Hail Satan. Follow us all on Twitter. Me, I'm at Henry Loves You, at Marcus Parks, at Ben Kissel, on Instagram, at Ben Kissel1, at Marcus Parks, at Dr. Fantasty, and follow Last Podcast on the Left on all of them, at LP on the Left.
And follow me on Spotify.
There it is. All right, everyone, hail yourselves.
Hail me!
Hail Geen.
Woo, got through this one.
Magustalations.
Congratulations.
All right, so we're doing the Patreon shout-outs. Thank you guys so much for donating. You are our saviors, our saints, and our life providers.
Your money means nothing. Just give us your money. Money is not real. Just give us. Let us take the burden of the responsibility of your money.
More money, more problems. We'll take your problems, aka your money. I see how that works. That's a good point. All right, I want to thank Ashley McDaniel. Thank you, Ashley. Cody J. Peterson. Thank you so much, sir. Amanda Bolden. Alex Wires. Jordan Sandstrom. Jenna Rhodes. Elizabeth Champion. Amanda Meekins. Gemma Toner. Sarah Compton. I think Sarah Compton, I might have met her.
Yeah.
Corey Pickles. Ooh, that's a fun one. Corey Pickles. Serena J. Sile W. Allie Norman. Steven. Perry Drew. Patricia Marciniak. Oh, I went to school with a Marciniak. Cool. Maybe they're related. Allison Arthur. Emily Prewitt. Kira. Alicia Sincox. And Julie. Leave Julie alone.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Okay.
You ready? Now me.
All right.
Mustafa Mahmood. Jacob Suluski. Skylar Somwinkle. Piper LaRue. Monique Nicole. Victor Giannani. Kevin Ix. Kate Moffat, Anelis Del Hall, Joshua Stubbs. What's going on, Josh? He's related to Adam Wertz, Samantha Stubbs, his wife. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Sure. Unique.
Thank you for your money.
Yeah, well, okay.
Victoria Hamid, Darcy Baby, John David, Aaron Diaz, Melanie Landman, Dan fucking Zamora, Allison Smith.
Did you put the
Janius-
fucking in there, or that's his name?
That's his name.
Strange middle
That's
name.
in there. It's pretty funny. Harry Carlson. Gave her a real Harry Carlson last night.
Oh, God.
Rory. Amanda Busking. Catherine Kane. Alicia Clements. What's going on, girl? What's up? Justine Huddleston. Ooh, is that like... Hiddle Swift.
Hiddle Swift.
That is so last year.
What the hell is Hiddle Swift? Taylor Swift and Hiddleston?
Yeah, Thomas
That was a
Hiddleston. Hiddleston.
Hiddle Swift. Jerk Just. Nikki Smith. Jordan Harrison. Steph Hartman. Kylie Marie. John Dretzka. Caroline Crew. Nathan Lofties. Alicia Amos. Robbie Kelly. Lise Mannering. Clayton Waddell. Brandon Linton. Brant Thagard. Mary Gray. Tracy Britt. Emily Hall. Aaron Bohm. Petey. Mackenzie Clarkson.
All right.
I got Carly Coburn, thank you. Solana Martinez. Thomas Bear, like Bobby Bear.
Oh, I love a bear.
Ashley Wise. Caitlin Christensen. Jamie Vesta. Lauren Hughes. Stephen Mata. Gabriel Gaspard. Sridhar Changlepet. Sarah... Sridhar Changlepet.
Thank you for your service.
Sarah Flippin, Catherine Grant, Christy McCreary, Jordan Jacobs, Cindy, Hannah, Thomas Vasquez, Alexandria Morales, Megan Dean, Jamie Vigil, Chris Smith, and Andrew Luevano.
All right, I'm going to read a bunch here in a row. We've got Patrick Laney, Kyle Beasley, Lupe Hernandez, Winslow, Elizabeth Wooten, Jason, Todd, Carl Nick Kaiser, Alex Larson, Aaron Sarver, Paul Daly, Julie Ward, Madeline, RCB, AGA Green, Led. That guy's his name is Led.
Led.
Well, don't have too much of this. You will get a poisoning there. Paul Graves, Lisa Sarone, Brenna Kroom, Jenny Madden, Ben Sonjira Young, Ellen Hartley, Damian Kane, Landon Porty, Lena Cadora, Liz Reese, Russell Ibarra, Batafew, Mike Latina, Christina Lambert. Hello, Miss Lambert. You ever see that movie?
Lambert?
Miss Lambert?
Uh-uh.
It's a great horror film back in the day. What the hell was it called? Lambert? Do you remember that one? Oh, it's a great horror. Charade!
Oh.
Yeah, it was classic. Miss
Interesting.
Lambert. And the guy keeps on eating sandwiches. Melody Hicks, Ryan O'Keefe, Betsy Williams, Hannah Vall, Elisa Lund, Jennifer Bagwell, Frank Person, Breezy Mundina. Breezy Mundina, Diana Sansilo, Eric Hoyt, Cody Adams, Justice Connor, Sarah Nicodam, and Fernando Leos II.
Taryn Stark of the Game of Thrones stocks. Oh, the stock of the House of Elks.
Winter is coming.
The winter is coming, isn't it?
It's leaving.
Isn't it?
It is.
Spring. is-
Laura Hall, Princess Weeks, Joseph Hagen, Rachel, Tori McDonald, Kelsey Smitherman, Shelby Wofford, Anna Vitsinskaya, Vitsinskaya, Kyle Collier, Molly May, Callum McCord, what's going on, bruh?
Hello, bro.
Randy Davis, Emily Duke, Shannon Rawlings. Oh, Shannon Rawlings. Look like that Creole.
What up, bro?
Christopher Smith, Andrew Copeland, Brianna Topol, Marie Pierre Colombe, Matthew, Matt Adolphi, Nissa Hamilton. That's it.
All right.
I got Will Opgennorth, Opgenorth,
Opgenorth. Well, and an Opgenorth to you.
Heather Monasterio.
Oh, Italian.
Monasterio.
Very good.
Alex Paulos, Brockstar, Jess Shoemaker, Adam Jordan, Salem Thunderberg, Danielle Starry.
Hey, Danielle.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah, we're
Danielle.
gonna see you in Texas.
We'll see you in Texas. Maria Rivera, Logan Bridges, Caitlin Dwyer McDonald, Nick Nalar, Christy Beadle, Jake Millward, Rosalind Jennings, Patrick Gill, Massimo Cristiano Napoli,
I'll have one of those.
Scarlett Eskew, Cairo Flores, Lori Palmer, Terrence Johnson, Nicole Marie,
Laura Palmer is the name of the woman from Twin Peaks. That's Lori Palmer. Very close.
wrapped in plastic.
Ooh.
Chet Harden, Jason Whittell, Benjamin Parkinson,
Great name.
Travis Bruce, at bearded_drunk. I guess that's his Twitter handle.
At bearded_drunk.
Caroline, that's pretty good. Caroline Mordy, Elizabeth Menke, Stephanie Kofta, Franklin Smith, Madeline Varga, Adam Dawson, John, Adam Redwood, Francesca Bondavilla, Sean Major, Christine Crawford, Chris Lavender, Leah Elaine Rojas, Helen Marie Melas, Kirko Rautsola,
Wow.
Nice.
Stephen Lynch, or just Steve Lynch.
Okay.
I believe that is my old buddy, my high school friend, Stephen Lynch.
the one who died in that car accident? How is it possible?
I hope you're doing. If that's you, bro, fucking hey, hello.
Caitlin Patton, Brittany Scherzer.
All right, we'll wrap it up here with me, Wade Lippin, Vanessa Hinkle Einhorn, or it's more of a Finkel, Devin Martinez, Lindsay Osman, Shane, Kate Tucker, Kelly Kaiser, Jocelyn Pacino, Zasheen Eunice, Megan Herstad, Rex Sharp, Nicholas Engel, Jade Jebb, Chelsea Kinnear, maybe related to Greg Kinnear.
Get him to us.
Get
if
in.
you know Greg, we need Greg.
I love Greg Kinnear, funny
Little piece of
guy.
heaven.
Chelsea Kinnear, Angela Kovar-Ubias. I'm not going to pronounce that right. Kovar-Ubias. Scott Rachel, Louis Valencia, Ellie Fried. Ooh, I like that. Oh, it's Fried L. Oh, I wish it was just Fried. Annie Maynard, Elisa Krantz, Chris Jones, Joel Landingham. And I always like to land a ham. Jennifer, Chris, Robert, Nathan Blankenship. Hello, Nathan. How are you, my friend? Jennifer Brown. Carlene Michelle. Gary Woodhams. Ooh, good old-fashioned Woodhams. Robert Goldstein. Thank you for all you've done. Daniel Pujol. Sandra Whitson. Angela White. Tara Dalton, Gabby Gorgas, Jason Burke, who's a great stand-up comedian. If it is that Jason Burke, check out his work. I love Jason, and he's my
He
height.
is super funny.
Yes,
great guy.
If that's him.
He's much thinner than I am, but my height, interesting enough. Chris Taylor, Lisa Lean Killerud. Wow, Lisa Lean Killer. If you're not cleaning, you're leaning, and she'll kill your rud. Lisa Lean Killerud. Alicia Goblin, kind of fun. Tracy Farrell. Katie Pinfold, Brad McCloskey, Casey Benlich, and Rebecca Elner.
And I'll finish mine. Joel Bacane, Chris Bell, Colin O'Donnell, Tiffany Michelle, Kieran Sandoval, Ben Frassa, Kiss Crystalberry, Owen Hercules.
Chris Crystalberry.
Crystalberry.
That's an animated cartoon character.
It's true. Sarah, Kip Burros, Brandon Riffle, Hannah Donegan, Alana McKnight, Jordan, Gary Strong, Austin Mason, Kelly Boyle, Steph, James McCallum, Joshua Alvarez, and Stephen Lee Dan.
Stephen Lee Dan, if you're not in a folk group, get it going. Stephen Lee Dan needs to be a band.
Bonnie Breard, Santos Garcia, Casey Johnson.
Do you give yourself all the Hispanic names just to prove that you're dating and having sex with one? Jesus.
It just happens that way.
Okay.
You saw me. It was a random search on this
well,
one.
maybe you dog-tailed some of them.
Santos Garcia, Casey Johnson, Chris, Hannah Banks, Chris Hernandez, Kylie Sellars, Jessica Plum, Cookie Beck, Tiffany Furrer, Shiraz Valet, Amanda Walker, Renee Gorder, Francois Everdina, Giraffes Are Loose.
What's that? The giraffes are loose?
Giraffes are loose.
Get him back in the zoo.
I guess, or let them be free.
Jessica Flessert, Jessica Lehman, Corey Lynn, Patrick Lucas, Michaela, Allison, Max Mullen Johnson, Rebecca Elner, Taylor Greer.
I said Rebecca Elner. She gave twice. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you. Faisal John Muhammad, Edward Parker, Ashlyn, Chris Hotz, Emily Podwalny, Paul Jarrett, Kara Conway, Will Richardson, Joya Giambroni, Louis Franco, and Patch D. Keys.
Patch D. Keys, indeed. All right, well, thank you guys so much for donating to our Patreon. Obviously, again, you guys know how much it means to us. You guys made this whole thing possible, and we love you so much for it. And thanks for supporting the show, listening to the content, and being the most amazing fans of all time. We can't wait to see you all at live shows soon.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be better than good. It's gonna be fine.
It'll be good with 4 O's.
Oh. Well, hail Satan, everyone. Thank you for your money.
Hail yourselves.
Elgin.
Hail me, please.
And Magustalations.
Hail me, please.
Congratulations.
Ooh.
Feeder, come back around on XFM 104.9. You're listening to Ricky Gervais.
I'm with him as well, Steve Merchant.
I was thinking of dropping that.
What?
I was thinking of dropping that, just going, because it's just too, that's all that. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington too. I mean, get to the music, so it's, hi, I'm Ricky Gervais, this is XFM.
Sure.
Here's Radiohead. Some like, they'll come out, that was Radio on XFM, I'm Ricky Gervais. Tony Blair, what's he all about?
Yeah.
That sort of,
Snap,
on a
yeah.
fast, because I quite, on a serious note, and you've always been saying it, I listened to an old show, because when Carl was compiling those things, I listened to an old show, and I listened to me, and I'm really concentrating now, because I sounded like the most inarticulate, brain-damaged old drunk I have ever heard given a show.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked. Not finishing sentences, leaving out words, slurring, just doing noises
Yeah.
that you understand because you know me.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to make an effort for the listener.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? You're going to give up after about 3
But I
records.
thought you were joking. And I thought it was like, oh, he's taking it there. Did it
Yeah,
then, you see?
again, I don't quite know what that sentence meant.
No, but...
Well, of course, I've got also your body language and your facial
Yeah.
gestures, but obviously the listeners have got nothing else.
haven't
They've
got
just got the
pointing.
voice. They've
Yeah.
just got the voice for it. That's all they've got. That's all they can rely on.
Yeah.
And when Carl Pilkington is the man holding the show together,
When he's the
that's quite
most
damning.
articulate.
Exactly. Exactly.
How did I come across?
You came across as lovely. I mean, I did an interview yesterday, right? And I was trying to describe you to this journalist, and I was going, it's like a cat can talk. Because the things you say, I just want to know what your world is. You know when a cat comes in, you go, where have you been? And it looks as you're like, you know, it can nearly understand you. And you went, I wonder, I'd love to know what that cat thinks. And with you, it's almost like we've got one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like that?
You can also lick your own testicles, I think, can't you? So, yeah.
Should we play the Doves? Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. You're listening to Ricky Gervais. Welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Saturday.
Were you asked to appear on Celebrity Fat Club?
No, no.
Was there
I
any?
wasn't.
Was
I
there? Was
wasn't.
there? Seriously, did an invite come
No,
in?
I don't think they did. I knew about it and I was waiting for the call and I was
Yeah.
going to be insulted, but it didn't come.
Didn't come.
It didn't.
How
come.
much are you looking forward to it? I'm quite excited about it.
I
really
am
am
excited to it. Yeah.
I don't know if
very-
people know. Are you aware of this, Carl? This is this Celebrity Fat Club. It's a new one of those reality shows. It's 10 celebrities, I think. They're all overweight, and they've got to lose weight over the course of the series.
And they're celebrities.
And they're celebrities.
That's why I called it that.
Celebrity Fat Club.
So who've they got?
Well, I'm very excited because one of them is, you know, that guy who was in Pop Idol but didn't win in the end, that really big fat guy, Rick Waller, Fats Waller, as I call him. And I was reading about him on the web earlier. It says he's been told to lose 17 stone Because they reckon he might be dead by the age of 40 if he doesn't lose weight.
How old is he
Seriously.
now?
I don't know how old he is. He's only in his 20s, isn't he?
Well, that's still a good
But
20 years of cake eating.
it says he was shocked to find he weighed 31 stone when he stepped on the scales at the start of the show.
31 stone.
31 stone. But I love
That's
the fact.
really big.
I like the fact it says he was shocked to find he weighed it.
Yeah.
I had no inclination.
I kept my eye off the ball. Didn't I?
Exactly.
That must be all those breakfasts.
I haven't stood on the scales for years, and I didn't know how much I weighed. Rick told the Sun.
31 stone, right? That is having a man on your back and carrying a man in your arm. Just basically two men are going everywhere.
It
ready
is
for a
obscene
bus.
because he looks. Have you seen him? He looks like one of those people who's wearing one of those inflatable sumo outfits.
Yeah.
He's just a little head and like a sort of. Oh,
We're not having a go at fat people.
I'm having a go at him, Rick.
No, because it might be glandular. It's not. It's breed.
Exactly.
Do you know what? This is true. When I did that Room 101, and I did one they cut out completely. I don't think I'd cut it out on taste. I think it was just too long. And one of the ones I put in was fat people who say it's glandular, right? And they'd done the research, and 2% of obese people can claim it's glandular. The rest, they just eat too much.
But
All
the
right?
thing about Waller is he was going on the telly going, it's good, what a wonderful role model I am for people who don't conform to the usual pop star sort of stereotype. No, you're not a role model for anyone. You are a fat pig of a man. I'm sorry, but you are... No, Rick,
But
be honest
we've
with us, it
discussed
is
this.
obscene.
It's not his weight that disturbs me more, it's his gums.
Well.
They're horrible. They've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Haven't they? They have been
The
through a
weight
lot.
does concern me slightly. Do you remember when he did his version of I Will Always Love You?
Yeah, but
I thought he was just singing about like a buffet or something.
yeah, outside the chip shop.
Yeah.
Go away, Mr. Waller.
Yeah.
Do people-
Just let me watch the kebab rotate once more.
No. Can I lick the fat off the floor? No, you can't. I just imagine those people who run all-you-can-eat buffets, when they hear him coming, they shut the door.
It's like it's one of those 1920s speakeasy. The front changes into like a laundrette. Just move on, fats. It's not. I can smell chip fat. No. Move on you go.
But, I mean, we're not Olympic fat Brits. They're also fat. The 31 stone is sort of, quite big. But the American, that one, did you see that one? Seriously, we talked about it before. That one on Jerry Springer. And he was 75 stone. Did you see it?
75
He was
stone?
in his bed. Honestly, it looked like a, I don't know, sort of molten lava in
Yeah.
his bed. And it was actually sad, and I was really sad, because he was in tears, and he was going, this is it, I'm going to do it. And Jerry Springer took the wall down, and they had to get him in a special ambulance and everything. But my point is this, right? When he got to say 50 stones, didn't he go, that's a lot, innit?
I've got to be careful.
For a human.
Exactly.
You know, for someone that lives on land.
Yeah.
That is,
Exactly.
that is, I'll tell you, the fact is they have to have special weighing equipment, so wasn't that a clue?
That must have been.
The fact they had to get in someone from next door to lift up a bit to tell him
Yeah.
how much he weighed.
Yeah, the fact that he featured on the Ordnance Survey map should have been a clue. That
We've given
it's
you
time-
your own man.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Stop
Eating. Always amazing to hear that, isn't it, Rick?
It's
Sugar.
fantastic. It's
I
such
can't
a
change your mind.
great tune.
I was listening to Copper Blue, the album from which
Yeah.
that's taken again. It's just fantastic.
Old
it really
Mouldy.
was. Old Mouldy.
Mouldy old dough, as I call him.
Exactly, Bob.
You've got a real problem with Rick Waller, haven't you?
I just,
And
he
probably-
turns my stomach.
I know, but don't...
'Cause he's
don't say
arrogant
that.
as well, though.
Exactly.
That's the
don't,
problem.
Don't explain to people that...
No,
you
he
know,
is a bit
it's
arrogant.
It's his whole thing that it's the whole package, so to speak, that you don't
Well,
like.
there's another thing in this quote, because
It's
he's
not just the fact that he eats too much.
he tried apparently to lose some weight, and he said the first month I lost 11 pounds, the next I lost a stone, but in the third my body did somersaults and I put on 9 pounds. I had a slip up. I can't say when, why, or how, but it just sneaked up on me.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Don't believe it just sneaked up on
That
him.
body's never done a somersault
No.
in its life.
No, it just sneaked up on him.
me, yeah.
It was the cakes again.
Yeah.
It was the same old cakes as before. It was exactly the same problem.
Sleep eating.
Yeah.
It's called.
It was the KFC bucket again. It was the
Oh,
family-sized
dear.
KFC bucket
Oh,
for breakfast.
dear. Poor man. The other thing is that I don't think that's a very good shock tactic for a doctor to tell a 20-something, well, to be honest, you've got 20 years to live.
Yeah.
That's not... You know,
Doesn't mean anything
and
when
when I
you're
was 20, the thought of dying at 40 was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live to 40. I
Yeah.
just thought, oh, what can you do when you're 40?
Yeah.
Just laying around doing nothing.
Eating cheese. And then you got there and you discovered...
No, but someone said
dream came true.
Sophie here sent me something, and she said, I realise you're not Graham Norton, but I had to send you this. And she sent me the top of a little cream cheesy thing, and it's the brand name is Gervais.
How odd that is. Have you been... they've named a cheese after you.
I think it's a big French company, and this is from the Czech Republic. It's all over Europe, and so it
That would
shows-
be a dream come true, wouldn't it, if they named a cheese after
No,
you?
I think it's probably ancestors, and so I've cheeses in my blood.
Sure.
Quite
It
literally.
literally is, yeah. Another heavy Friday night, was it?
It comes out of pores like those Play-Doh things. I can squeeze out different shapes.
Jane,
Like-
bring the Stilton in. It's Friday night. Oh,
This
man
isn't
alive.
fried.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we can't really have a go at Rick Waller. I eat too much, but,
But but you're not big. I mean,
the
one of the other contestants on the Fat Club, Celebrity
yeah,
Fat
isn't
Club, is another one is Jono Coleman.
Oh, we love John.
Now, Jono, I don't know, you know Jono, he's that guy who does, he used to be on TV, and I think he does a breakfast show on a rival station, doesn't he?
He's happy, isn't he?
He's so trivia, and he's a really nice bloke, Jono,
It's
but...
funny because he does a breakfast show on Heart, which is wrecking his own. There's a bit of irony.
I love Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love
I
you.
can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's good.
But we've met Jono a couple of times. We saw him at a couple of, not wishing to sound to show off, but a couple of awards dues.
Yeah, like that's showing off.
but
But
there-
people would have seen dead there.
Well, yeah, but we we went to one where everyone was in like tuxedos or suits and ties. Not Jono. Jono was wearing a pair of Bermuda shorts,
Big Bermuda
and a
shorts,
Hawaiian
knee-length Bermuda
shirt.
shorts with just these little.
But I saw him again another
feet.
time, and he had shorts on at
Yeah.
a similar event, and I've seen him since in the street, and he's all. I don't think. I'm wondering if he can wear trousers. I don't think he can actually wear trousers. I don't know if there's a medical reason for that. Whether he's just his
No,
legs are too fat.
I think the material is a waste of money. I think it's just
Yeah.
that you can get shorts that big and they're comfortable. And I mean, to be quite honest, I don't want to squeeze into a tuxedo anyway. So if you can go, I'd love to turn up those things in Bermuda shorts.
Well, of course.
Flip flops.
But do you think he started off by wearing, maybe he just had the upper half was a tuxedo with the tie and
then the
everything,
shorts for
and the shorts
comfort.
underneath, and he would just have to come in, kind of sneak behind, a sideboard,
Potted plants.
or a potted plant, or bring his kids ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know,
And they
you're
just
wearing
go,
trousers, aren't you?
You're
Yeah,
wearing
yeah.
trousers. Of course I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in you go.
Kids move a bit. Well, no.
Exactly.
Of course I'm wearing trousers. Why
Of
would
course
I?
I'm wearing
And they
trousers.
just thought, oh, this isn't fooling anyone.
So now I'm going to make a wacky effort to sort of,
The next
excuse
zone
it.
is, I've heard he's going in a grass skirt and a garland around his, and he's gonna come in limboing.
But you did ask if you could go to the BAFTAs in a dressing gown, didn't you?
Just for ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, right, is this talking about diets and stuff, right?
Go on.
They've come up with a drug that they tested it out on a mouse, right? They said, it's a problem that weight is a big issue in the world, and a lot of people are depressed, and that probably like Rick Waller.
Well, I'm
right?
depressed looking at Rick Waller.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, you could sort out Rick by, Jono is an old man, he's got loads of money.
Not old.
No, but he's getting on a bit, right?
He's about
No, but
my
hang on a
age,
minute.
you-
What I mean is he does his own shopping, right? So I bet it's
Sorry.
hard,
What do you mean?
because he's like, how old is he? 35. Right, he's got loads of money. He does his own shopping. So when he goes to the supermarket and he passes, the sponge cake section, it must be tough when you've got loads of money to burn. That you go, oh, just one more,
Yeah.
one more.
Look, we are getting close to libel here, I think.
No. But I'm saying how it is because
Right.
I've tried like losing a little bit of weight.
Have you?
And it is difficult when you're in Waitrose and you see a little chocolate muffin and think, one more and I'll do without.
Do you like a little chocolate muffin now and
Well,
again?
yeah, right.
Is that your favourite thing?
So the
A
thing
chocolate
is,
and
Let him
muffin?
finish his point.
So the thing is, right, now with Rick, he lives at home with his mum. So why doesn't his mum just say, I'm going to buy less this week, and if you eat it all, you're not getting any more?
Yeah.
That sort that
Does
out.
he live with his
Short,
mum?
sharp shot.
I bet he does. I bet he does. 'cause
So
he-
you don't actually know if this is true or not.
No, but anyway, right, so this drug they've come up with...
They tested this on mice, haven't they?
They've tested
No, I'm worried if they haven't tested it on mice.
Thank God for that.
It's definitely been tested on mice.
Definitely.
They fed a mouse a load of cake,
Yeah.
right? And it went a little bit chubby, and they said, right, stop a minute. And then they gave it this drug that makes you lose weight.
Yeah.
And its weight went down, but the only bad side effect was its eyes were popping out.
Well, that seems to be fine then. Let's give it to Jono. There doesn't seem to be any problem.
Oh,
with that.
Rick
It's
should get some
I
of that.
love. Hey, Struth, Doc, look at these. Oh, Jesus, Jono, your eyes are popping out. That happened to the mice. Sorry? That happened to the mice.
But what would
do you mean?
That's the option.
What do you mean that's the option?
So I love the fact that your choice is either be like a fat, happy man who has the odd sponge cake, or a stick man with eyes on stalks. I mean, Steve's chosen that.
All right, calm down. I
sorry,
thought we were
mate.
slagging off Rick Waller and
Sorry,
fat
mate.
people.
Sorry,
Let's
mate.
have a go at the fat people before we start
sorry.
on me, Rick.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I forgot.
I mean, it's like...
Yeah.
Because I got some issues and body issues.
I know.
But Rick Waller's grotesque,
Yeah, sorry about
I'm
that.
just a little bit weird. I mean, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, should we play a song and?
Well, I'm
sort
just
of-
a little bit offended. That's upsetting. That's upsetting.
Vines out of the way on XFM 104.9. You're listening to the Ricky Gervais Show.
With Steve Merchant and
We've
Carl
got
Pilkington.
to try and get on though, because
got
there's
time
not
for
enough. No, not enough time. Let's bang on. Let's do some observations, some
Yeah.
satirical.
Take a sideways look at the week's news.
Yeah.
Sure. Who's the fattest person you know, Carl? Is it an issue for you? Are you concerned about fat people?
Only if I'm travelling somewhere and there's one sat next to you. That'd
Yeah.
be a bit annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ricky pointed out a few months ago when I went away, we were talking about plane journeys, and you were saying how it's a bit out of order. When you go on holiday, right, you take your suitcase with you. This is all
Was
right.
I
it's
saying
a
this
good-
on air though? Is my question? Because there's a reason I don't say things.
No,
on air
but
sometimes.
I think you've got a good point. It made me think.
Oh no, I know what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
It's sort of like if you're not allowed to carry a hand baggage on because you're a few pounds overweight, but there's a bloke behind you who weighs 10 stone more than you.
Yeah.
Surely the whole package should be weighed.
Yeah.
Like you and your baggage.
Absolutely.
Can
He
be
should have- he
30
should have a carrier
stone.
bag, and
So I can take on a Labrador and a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
He can take on a towelette
Yeah. Yeah.
to wipe
Absolutely.
his brow.
His sweaty, fatty brow.
Yeah.
No, absolutely right.
So
And that does
yeah.
wind you up, does it?
But I don't. That's the only time. I mean, people can't help it. We don't want to like come across as if we're just having a go at people who have got.
But they can help it. This is what we're saying.
No, but
No,
that's,
but
that's a
because-
little bit.
But I'm talking about obesity. I'm not talking about people who are overweight or have got a problem with eating and so on. I'm talking about people who are obese, because that seems to me to be an indulgence. I mean, I read some statistic.
Well, God, if we're getting serious, it is a problem, isn't it? Because it's an eating disorder. So what's terrible is laziness and kidding yourself. But the people who have genuinely got a problem.
But it's a
the
genuine
problem is
concern for apparently
anorexia or-
for the future of our children. Apparently, it genuinely is.
Yeah.
Apparently, it costs. I was reading some statistic that it costs something like. America, it costs them like $119 billion a year or
But
something.
that's not what
because
people
of
are
obesity.
starving because fat people are eating all the food.
I'm not
There's still
saying
enough
people are
left.
starving because of fat people.
Oh, you mean?
I'm saying that it's a no. I'm saying it's a concern. I
Oh,
don't
we
mean that.
meant we'll soon have kids and they're hungry because next door's out all the food.
No, I just mean
Sorry.
that apparently because exercise now, people aren't taking up exercise, kids aren't
Right.
taking up exercise, that we will all be obese in years to come. Not all obese, but
Yeah.
there'll be a big obesity
Well, I
problem.
suppose the natural state for the mammals, we crave fat. We literally crave fat for hard times. But now there are no.
Well, you're all
hard
sat in
times.
offices
But
typing away.
But our body hasn't evolved
Yeah.
to take our social input in. So we still act like mammals, and we eat and we crave it, and we like to store fat.
Yeah.
That's why we have to go jogging, because we don't hunt, we don't do anything. So it's not really their fault. I mean, it is about willpower and sort of like, you know, self. Hate.
But in
and all
years
that,
to come, we'll have just pictures, like kids will just have pictures of, they won't have NSYNC on the wall, it'll be like sumo wrestlers.
Oh, God. You know sumo wrestlers? I saw this thing about sumo wrestlers. Because they're athletes. They go into this thing because it's a big honour to be a sumo. It's absolutely
Really?
true, right? Yeah, absolutely true.
Yeah.
So you'd go along and you'd be 9 stone, and they have doctors there, so you have to eat to get big. Right?
Right.
And this doctor was interviewed, Japanese doctor, and he's going, it is against, you'd think it's against the Hippocratic Oath, but whereas they do it anyway, I do it healthily, so he gives them diets of like, 10 pounds of rice, 9 pounds of fish and things like that, and they get up. But now, because it's such an honour, it's almost a spiritual thing to be a great sumo and all that, they have apprentices willing to, like when you're an apprentice, say, runner or something, you have to make the coffee, and or when you're working as an apprentice in the studio, you have to clean the floor and stuff. Do you know what apprentice sumo's job is?
An apprentice sumo. Go on.
They wipe the sumo wrestler's arse because they can't reach. They literally can't reach.
Rubbish.
Right. We'll give out the
Who's
phone number.
taking that up as a profession?
I know. I imagine that. I'd love to be a sumo wrestler. It's a great honour, and I'd love to work under you.
Sure.
Sure. So what will I do? Start press ups first.
There'll be some press-ups, yeah.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
will be
What,
some
should I get into
press-ups.
the gym now and?
No, don't before you rush off.
Go on.
You
I'm
would-
starving.
No, I can understand that.
Go on.
Would you mind wiping my arse? Because
Right.
I've just...
Can't reach.
No, I can't get the arms back there. Can't go down
Okay.
there. So, and but I'll be honest with you, a lot of this Oriental food, it doesn't sit well with me.
So-
it goes straight through me, to be honest.
So it's quite messy.
It's quite messy down there. It's
Right,
quite runny.
okay,
So
okay.
be careful.
Okay.
You
No,
wear
it's a great
some gloves.
honour.
If you want to wear gloves, wear
I
gloves.
don't want to wear gloves. I don't want to wear gloves. It's,
Well,
an honour.
it's an honour.
This apprenticeship is 2 years, isn't it?
You know, you're not going to take my feces and sallow, are you, as souvenirs or
No,
something?
no,
'Cause it
no.
is,
I'll
I mean-
be mainly getting fat myself.
Sure.
Wiping your ass.
Yeah.
Great honour.
Yeah, no, good. Well,
Great
no.
honour.
Not
If
at
someone
all.
could call in and verify that. Look, Carl, look at Carl looking at us like we've just said the worst thing ever. You
This
say
is
things
true,
like,
apparently.
makes your eyes pop out and put in Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin. Don't look
How
at
did-
us like that. We're talking cultural science here and wiping asses.
Yeah.
So, play a record.
Yeah, it's lowbrow and it's highbrow at the same time, Carl. That's an incredible picture.
Oh, yeah, this is for all you people who like the odd cake. This is Bowie and Sweet Thing. Do you like that?
Nice.
Sweet Thing. David Bowie.
Beautiful.
Amazing, off Diamond Dogs.
Absolutely.
We went to see him in the week, didn't we?
We did indeed, yeah. This little
Very
exclusive
tiny
gig that
little
Jonathan
gig,
also played
100
for us.
people.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely to see him.
Yeah, lovely to see him again.
Lovely to see Dave again.
Yeah.
No, he's looking good.
He looks great, doesn't he?
He was. Yeah. Was he bisexual? Sorry, I don't know why I brought that up.
Sorry, at the gig?
No. It's just a fact because I know he's married now, isn't he, with a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
But there was some sort of
Oh, I think, possibly, I don't know, I wouldn't want to...
these pop stars. They dabble with anything, don't they? I suppose. Try anything once, don't they? These rock and roll stars.
But, yeah, so, if anyone knows the truth behind...
Yeah, well,
sumo-
how does sumo begin? Because that's what I can't. I've never understood how it began as a sport because it's. Do you know what I mean? Because they are so huge.
Well, I
that
reckon,
it's not.
I reckon it was a fat bloke who was picking on a little skinny bloke, and the skinny bloke
Right.
knew kung fu and so he goes, right, let's fight. And the fat bloke, no punching.
Yeah,
And what do you
yeah.
mean? He went, it's just leaning against each other.
Yeah,
And they went,
yeah.
well, you're bound to win. And then I went, right, I've won. And went,
Yeah.
bloke, okay.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And the
Yeah.
fat
He
bloke
grabbed him. Are you wearing a nappy? Well, I'm pretty big. Yeah, I'm having
why?
problems. I can't wipe my
I
ass.
can't wear a tuxedo. I just can't.
Exactly.
I just, that's the next step for John, who's been banned wearing a thong in public. So.
But seriously, if anyone knows how sumo began, I'm genuinely interested. Email maybe ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Just as Carl, what are your thoughts? Where do you think it began? Because don't you think it's an odd sport? I mean, it is a weird.
They've always got nice hair. They seem to care about the hair a bit. Don't
Sure.
They? So it's sort of nicely pinned back.
Yeah.
Are you ever asked when people are doing like Sharma's Britain or people are doing like big
Historical programs.
they say we'll ask Carl about this. He might have an opinion.
Yeah.
They've got.
I'd like to see you as a pundit, definitely on those kind of on Newsnight.
It's
Yeah.
just that I think it's a funny one because the whole idea of sport is to keep fit,
Yeah.
and that's sort of, it's a bit
Yeah.
of an odd one, isn't it?
Well, it's the same as sort of like weightlifting. You have to go through all that all year to see if you can push up, something heavier than someone else. But you have to walk round in a golf buggy to that one.
Yeah.
And take steroids and.
Well,
God
I
knows
mean,
what.
the other day, I don't do much sport. I think living in London, there's not that many areas you can go and. Actually, I'm probably wrong there.
Well, there's all the gyms and
Yeah,
sports clubs
I'm
and stuff.
probably
yeah.
wrong
And the
on that
parks
bit.
and the roads.
But look how excited I was going round to your place, Ricky, and you had a little garden.
Yeah.
I haven't got a garden.
We played
And it was-
football, didn't we?
And we had a little. Well, I did.
No, you were rubbish. I beat you in penalties, 5-2, and then I beat you on knockout, I think 10-4, and he always makes an excuse. He goes, no, start again. We didn't say that. I'm cracking up.
So, have you seen Ricky play football?
No, I've not really seen either
Right,
of you play
It's
football.
not football. You sort of do it like. It's like when you get a cat and you chuck it some wool, you sort of jump on it and lie on top of it so you can't get it, and then sort of kick it with his feet, lying on the floor.
No, what I mean is, he fouled me, and I was on one
Are you
hand.
sure he didn't just collapse
Yeah, but
because all the stress and the exercise?
That's the other thing. That's
He
the
just
other
tumbled
thing.
on the floor,
I lo-
Stilton poured out of his mouth.
I was too strong for him.
No.
I was too strong for you.
Yeah, but you didn't last long, did you? It was like if football
I didn't want
matches,
to
if
last
football
long.
matches went.
They just bring me on for the first 10 minutes.
Who suggested that you two play football? Did you suggest this, Rick? I
Yeah, we
can't
went
believe
round
it.
there. Yeah, well, yeah. We had to go and football in the garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we do?
I just had a look at your salamander.
Right, is that euphemism or? Because I know that when I first went to your house, you used to show your genitals to people a lot more than you do now. You definitely used to do that. You used to think that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that you get to a certain age, men of a certain ilk get to a certain age and just
got it out, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, when Ross came in, he did the same.
Yeah.
It's that weird.
Yeah, I suppose. I thought, oh, you've seen
Childlike
it now. I thought
mentality.
you've seen it. You know, you weren't impressed the first time, to be
wasn't,
quite honest,
to be honest
Steve.
with you.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's, you know, it's
but,
nice.
you know,
Always nice.
it's
Always a treat to see.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you make of Ricky's place? What do you make of it?
Again, that's not a euphemism. It doesn't mean that I've got it's like a flat fish.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my place?
Yeah,
There it is.
It's all right. I mean,
You've seen better.
the pictures you've got on the wall I'm not keen on the same sort of art as you are.
Right.
What sort of art? Because yours is quite sort of modern art.
He's got this big like bit of
Abstract.
canvas with like just loads of dark colours on it.
Yeah.
It looks really miserable.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it sort of brings the place down. If you're going to sell it, that woman on Channel 5, the house doctor, if she came round, she'd say, take that down, and you'll get double for it. It's just, I thought it was like a wall. He was
Take that
testing.
down, get that salamander out, and just pop those back in your trousers.
yeah.
It was like he didn't know what sort of colour to use on the wall, so he's like been putting a little bit on. No, that's not good. I'll use like a bit of a darker colour.
Yeah.
And it's just loads of different.
Are you Brian Sewell? Because you're just saying.
So what kind of art do you like? I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I like
Athena.
I like Lowry.
Larry, the worst painter in the world. The most
No.
overrated.
You see, it depends. You're getting excited about
Rubbish.
your stuff you've got on. Lowry, right?
Yeah.
You can look at
He
his,
really is the Brian and Michael.
No.
Of the, well,
but it's real, isn't it? Right?
what do you mean it's real?
It's real. You look at his picture and you see like little disabled people walking about. You see kids
That's not real, then.
playing with like footballs. You've got your dad coming home from work, working in the factory. Got a little dog barking. It's life, right? And you can look at it for like 10 minutes, go away, go and watch telly or something for a bit, go back to it, and you'll see different things in it.
Really?
Really? What is it like? One of those magic eyes?
You sure that's not a telly?
Yeah. You've been looking out the window, Carl.
You sure you weren't watching When the Boat Comes In?
People will agree with me. It's better than your stuff that you buy.
This show started off slick.
Yeah.
We had something to say.
No, what are you talking about? We're now discussing art.
We were taking the big out of fat people, and now it's
And now
all-
you've taken it all highbrow, Carl.
play a record. We'll come back to fatties. Badly Drawn Boy, something to talk about on XFM 104.9. You're listening to Ricky Gervais.
Well, then Steve
Well,
Mitchell.
let's just get on with the. We've already had a complaint.
Yeah.
Someone saying your TV show's so good. Why is your radio show so hard work? You useless fat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't please everyone, Carl. It's like Lowry. Some people like Lowry. Some people like that fella who did the dark painting for me.
Talking of emails, there was some guy. He hasn't mentioned his
Larry's
name, or
rubbish.
maybe his name's Steve. But he said that he was checking out the Office DVDs. DVD's going on sale, isn't it, soon? I think the video and the DVD of The Office are going on sale soon. But he was checking it out on Amazon, and he said that it says on there, and I did check it, double check it, that it includes some special frottage. Or special frottage.
Oh,
is that how it's
frottage.
correctly
That's
pronounced?
Is that mutual doing it to each
I
other?
think it's
or is it
sexual.
or is it the rubbing up against each other?
Yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
is
some
that
sort
what it
of-
is? It's where you rub up against
I
people?
don't know. It's something like that. Yeah.
But, so there's some special frottage on there.
Yeah.
Look forward to that on the DVD.
I think they mean footage.
I'm imagining so.
If you're buying it for frottage, you are going to
Yeah,
be
you're gonna be sorely
disappointed.
disappointed.
Yeah. We're gonna. That first hour then was about eating too much, wasn't it? I think we can.
That's essentially what we talked about, yeah.
That is probably right. Do you know? I read something interesting. You know, they've banned. I used to get the Guinness Book of Records every year from about the age of 10 onwards, and I went to the section like the biggest, fattest, all that, right? And there used to be gluttony records, and it was like these ridiculous looking Texans, and how many hamburgers they can eat, and of course they were. It's just so dangerous. They've put it down to how many hamburgers you can eat in a minute now.
Yeah.
And so they've brought it down to things like 17. You know, they still burst their stomach with alcohol. But I remember I was watching the Big Brother when they had to break that record. Like eating sweet corn and balancing. I was thinking, who wants to beat that record?
Yeah.
The most of the records in the Guinness Book of Records exist because no one wants to contest them. There's one in there, a bloke there, had his picture taken with a milk bottle on his head, and it's the record for having a milk bottle on his head.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 days. I want to go. No one wants to beat that record. And there was one in there. This is amazing. This is absolutely true, right? Last year's Guinness Book of Records. It says in Thailand in 1980. Some sort of temple or ceremony, these incense burners fell over and I think crushed people or burned people to death. 7 people died, and it's under the heading "Worst Joss Stick Disaster Ever." Do you reckon they're going to try and beat that one?
Oh God.
There's a guy up north, right, who's he's in the Guinness Book of Records for being able to put a car, a little Mini,
Up his arse.
on his head, right, and you think, oh, that's good, but without the engine in.
I love the fact that he puts this thing that still weighs like 50 stones on his head, and you're going boo.
Yeah.
What do you mean he puts the Mini on his head?
He wears a little cap with a little bit of sponge on,
They all do up there.
and he picks up this Mini,
Yeah, go on.
and it takes like 2 blokes to put it on his head, and then he walks around for about 10 seconds showing off, but it doesn't have the engine in it. So I mean, if you're going to do it,
Yeah. Go the whole hog is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
See, the reason I think he didn't do it with the engine in is because he couldn't, Carl.
we'll do a motorbike or something.
My mate went to see that. What's that circus that came to London?